They know that Nnamdi Kanu's trial cannot go anywhere. And they know that if it is concluded, it's a problem. If it is not concluded, it is a problem. So they make it an open-ended trial so that they will look as if something is happening. But they are not interested in his trial. They are interested in holding him perpetually until people realize that that's what they are doing. And I realized that a long time ago. The problem is that everybody has become complacent about Nnamdi Kanu's freedom. They have allowed the so-called Southeastern leaders who are deceiving them to say, oh, we are negotiating, we will get this thing resolved, to allow them to calm down the restless people who should get him out. You are not going to get Nnamdi Kanu out of detention by negotiation. It's not possible. Nigeria is holding Nnamdi Kanu to ransom for his unity. The payment they are demanding for is absolute unity and loyalty, regardless of what they are doing to Igbos, yes, or they are doing to other Nigerians. Unless that ransom is paid, and that ransom is Nnamdi, or Nnamdi is rescued from the kidnappers. I think I want to say this, because Nnamdi Kanu is my friend, and I've been in this court several times on his behalf. In fact, when I would come to this court in the past, they would attack me physically. I was attacked physically thrice. The reason I don't come to court anymore is that a federal high court judge actually gave an order that I cannot attend this trial, this current trial, yes. He mentioned my name specifically, so I don't want to waste my time coming to court, but it will be more than... I think the problem is that everybody has become complacent about Nnamdi Kanu's freedom. They have allowed the so-called Southeastern leaders who are deceiving them to say, oh, we are negotiating, we will get this thing resolved, to allow them to calm down the restless people who should get him out. You are not getting, this is what I should tell you, you are not going to get Nnamdi Kanu out of detention by negotiation. It's not possible. Nigeria is holding Nnamdi Kanu to ransom for his unity. The payment they are demanding for is absolute unity and loyalty, regardless of what they are doing to Igbos, yes, or they are doing to other Nigerians. Unless that ransom is paid, and that ransom is Nnamdi, or Nnamdi is rescued from the kidnappers. Look, all these razzmatazz we are seeing in Nigeria in the courts, Nnamdi Kanu's trial has nothing to do with judges. If the Supreme Court justices decide that Nnamdi Kanu should be freed, he will not be freed.
Yes.
The DSS will not leave him. True. Because that has happened several times. It's not matter for what they come to do in the courtroom is scripted drama, so that they will give an impression that, they know that Nnamdi Kanu's trial cannot go anywhere. And they know that if it is concluded, it's a problem. If it is not concluded, it is a problem. So they make it an open-ended trial so that they will look as if something is happening. But they are not interested in his trial. They are interested in holding him perpetually until people realize that that's what they are doing. And I realized that a long time ago. In fact, when I met Nnamdi Kanu, I used to say, I met him in New York when I was on my way to Nigeria in 2019. At the time I got arrested for revolution now. And he was telling me, I've told this story several times, he said, Sowore, you are mad. How are you going to Nigeria at this time? They just tried to kill me in my father's house. And they killed 20-something people. I barely escaped. I said to him, and it came to pass, if they need you and they want you, wherever you are hiding, they'll come and get you. And that's what they did to him by going to Kenya. They abducted him. Till today, nobody can tell you how Nnamdi Kanu got to Nigeria officially. It was an international kidnap action. And you cannot cure that flaw in his trial. You can't go and kidnap somebody and bring him to court and bring him to trial. But they know what they are doing. So I hope that those who are his supporters and Nigerians who believe in justice will understand that is what he's about. He is a prisoner, not, you can say prisoner of conscience, of course he is, but he's a prisoner to the Nigerian project. The desire to keep Nigeria one, united, undividable. That is his crime. And those kind of crimes are not for trial. You can't get a court of law to convict him for that. because it's not a crime.
Of course.
And that's what we tell people all the time. If you see all these razzmatazz going on, the judge from day one already know that I didn't commit a crime. In this case that we came to today, Justice Lima knew that there was no crime committed by calling the IGP illegal because it's illegal. Yes. The issue to be resolved is very simple. You cannot lead the police if you are not in the police force. It's as simple as that. Otherwise, I'm qualified to be IG then. Yes, throw it open. Let anybody apply for it. Then you can make MC Oluomo the IGP of police. We won't complain. You understand? It is just like saying, look, judges are entitled to spend how many years now? 70 years as judges. We don't have a problem with that because that has been done. But if you go and bring a retired judge to come out, I won't. If I'm brought before him, I won't answer to him because I say, sir, you are no longer a judge. You have retired from the civil service. So that is the issue they cannot cure. So the judge who accepted that knew that there was no case against me. But they are interested in one thing I want to know, my international passport. I have achieved that for them. After that, come today, come tomorrow. While they figure out other things to do to Sowore. So that's what it's all about. Yes. The EFCC chairman knows that it is time to replace the eagle in EFCC with a dove.
Or a chicken.
No, a dove is harmless.
No, a broiler chicken.
Yes. Chicken can be aggressive sometimes. Yes. Broiler. No, if you go to a chicken and try to mess with the chicken, they will fight. But a dove doesn't fight. They should just replace the logo of EFCC with a dove. Let everybody move on. That's the simple thing. The EFCC no longer handle high-profile cases. They can't. The high-profile people have already captured the EFCC. So the EFCC is incapable of handling any this same chairman of EFCC told us that if Bello was not arrested, he will resign. Bello was never arrested. Bello decided after he has gone around and played and gone on vacation, came back, to come and play. And he's back on the streets. Everybody is kneeling down for Bello, who is undergoing trial for. Bello is back on doing his third term in Kogi State. So what are we talking about? So, but, EFCC chairman must give speech. The media must report it. That's what you guys are supposed to do. But my advice, once again, is that the eagle must be replaced with a dove. There's an Igbo problem in Nigeria. That's why they are holding Nnamdi Kanu.
What's your take on
for asking
Nnamdi Kanu's perpetual detention?
And then we are rehabilitating Boko Haram commanders. He said 120,000 of them have surrendered with foreign currency in their hand. And you have rehabilitated them. But one guy who says, we want justice, we don't want to stay in Nigeria, you are holding him perpetually using the judiciary or judicial, subterfuge to keep the trial. Everybody who knows what they are doing understand that it's not a judicial matter.
So Nnamdi is essentially a political prisoner.
He's a political hostage. Well, I'll call him not a political because he may not. Whomever is in power, except me, will keep him in jail.
So do you think that Igbos generally are endangered species in Nigeria? Going back what you just narrated.
The truth, that's the truth. Nigeria did not forgive Igbos since the end of the Civil War.
What did they do?
Because they challenged the real estate of the British called Nigeria. So, and they didn't forgive them since then. So everything has been done after that. We know this is the unspoken truth about the country called Nigeria, that they did not forgive Igbos for the Civil War.
The Igbos were the victims and they have forgiven the victims. So why is it difficult for the victors to...
You are preaching to the choir.
And because he had mentioned once that, in an interview once, he had mentioned that the Igbos will never be president of Nigeria. That is a perpetual, narration to keep the Igbos where they are.
Yeah, so no, it's not about even the presidency. If they find an Igbo man that is malleable, that can work in their interest, they can make him president if he doesn't have any power. You can be a president of Nigeria and not have the powers of the president. The
when they wanted to destroy the landmark, who was the minister in charge? It's not an Igbo man.
And Moka is Igbo speaking, also fighting an
It's
Igbo
easier
man.
for them to use an Igbo man to carry out. If it was done by a Yoruba man, the uproar would have been worse. But you find an Igbo minister of works to help you demolish Igbo businessmen. You say, can't you see them? So it's easier that way. It's manipulation. It's how Nigeria manipulate people. But I'm not saying that if he was a Yoruba minister, he cannot demolish. They will do it too. It's easy. Anybody could have done it as long as there's an agreement to do it. Because beyond just ethnicity, there's also an elite conspiracy against Nigerian people. So an average poor person is endangered. But you are likely more endangered if you have committed a generational crime against the Nigerian real estate. Owned by
being an Igbo man.
Of course. That's the truth. You know, that's why you were saying, oh, you are Yoruba man. You know, if based on what I say, they even tell me I'm not Yoruba enough. You know, but I'm of mixed heritage. There's a part of me that is Ijo.
Okay.
And we are the Ijo speaking Yorubas. We're the Yoruba speaking Ijos in Ondo State.
Okay.
So they call us Ijo Apoy.
Ilaje area.
No, it's Ilaje. So we're next to Ilaje.
Okay.
But my great grandparents came from Yoruba side of things. But the stream that Sowore is named after is in Ijebu waterside. Because that's how they came. So, but you know, I don't speak to people based on ethnicity. I don't define myself based on my ethnic heritage, even though I do not deny it. But because it underlies our humanity to be assigned an ethnic position before you can be respected. Are you getting my point? Or before your views can carry, oh, so you have to be a Yoruba man. And then it was, oh.
So we've had
here
Rwanda.
Comes one of them.
We've had Rwanda manage the same ethnic issue in their country with the Tutsi thing after years of genocide.
Are you sure they managed it?
Well, to a reasonable
extent. They have to manage it
extent.
through genocide. And Nigeria
After
also,
genocide management.
So this is what you should understand.
Okay.
Nigeria also managed the Igbo problem through genocide. 4 million Igbos.
Yeah, I was coming to that.
Is that not genocide? But you know the problem I have sometimes even with some of our people is that the same people who shot and killed them are more popular in their midst than those who support their rights. The Obasanjos of this world are embraced as authentic people, but these are the people who went and used third commando to massacre Igbos. What did they name this airport after? Murtala Mohammed, one of the most notorious killers of Igbos. Buhari, they kill Igbos. Danjuma, they kill Igbos. Gowon, they kill Igbos. But they even love them more than they love those of us who are fighting. People challenge me that, they hate me because I support Nnamdi Kanu. And I said, so be it. Because I know that I'm supporting justice. And I cannot support injustice because I want political favors from a country. If you want to keep carrying out genocide of political nature or continuation of it, you can go ahead. Keep voting for the criminals who are perpetrating it. Let the forest be voting for the axe because the handle is from one of them.
Okay. Yeah, I said something. I would like you to touch more on it. I mean, the Igbos were the victims. Now they are forgiven the victors. There is no place you don't find the footprints of Igbos across the length and breadth.
That's why I say you are preaching to the choir. It's not, Igbos are not only in Nigeria, they're all over the world. I went to Alabama in the US, and the only pharmacist there is an Igbo man. Selma, Alabama. You've heard about Selma.
Yeah.
It's one of the homes of the civil rights movement, where they cross that Petra Bridge.
Exactly.
Igbo man is there. Most likely that's what you find in every community in the US. Igbos are distributed all over the world. There's this urban legend that if Igbos cannot live in a place, the place is not livable. There was a time, a New York Times reporter came to Gamboru Ngala after Boko Haram sacked the place. The only person they found there who was not a Boko Haram member, was an Igbo pharmacist. So what are you doing here? I said, well, somebody has to treat them. You know, he was that courageous not to stay there. So I'm saying all these things so that you can understand that I understand probably more consciously better than most people do. And that informs the reason I can speak categorically about the victimization of Igbo. Otherwise, it is a taboo. Politically, it is incorrect to say that Igbos are victimized by an average Nigerian.
Okay. All right. So let's move
because nobody wants to hear the truth. You know, and when you say, if somebody's watching me and I get out, they say, Sowore, what's your problem now? Leave these Igbo people alone. You understand? That is the truth. But I cannot, my conscience cannot allow me to accommodate the genocide of 3 million people, 4 million people, and then the continuation of that denunciation of the existence through persecution in which the Nigerian state is carrying out, either through Landmark or Nnamdi Kanu or, you know, look, I told a story, I think it was on the Honest Punch, that in this country, there was a time they were beheading Igbos, putting their heads in calabash and putting on the trains going east.
Do you think that that's what's happening in the East right now, speaking about militarization of the East?
Pogrom, you understand? And that's why they're doing it. It's what they're doing. When we did August, what did we ask for? Demilitarization of the East and release of Nnamdi Kanu was one of our demands. But it was the most denounced demands, even by human rights people. They told us, no, don't include Kanu in your demands. Otherwise, we will not join you. Because Nigeria has been made to believe that a crime committed against Igbo doesn't fall under human rights abuse.
Okay. So let's speak about that crime against Igbo, because a popular, I think I read in your paper recently.
And unfortunately also, the Ohanese people said they should not join the protests, that they are negotiating with Tinubu. They even said that he will release him for Christmas gift, as if he's a Christmas goat.
Oh, all right, so speaking about this militarization of the Southeast, recently I read in your platform, a popular media mogul, owner of a media platform in Lagos State, was dehumanized in the Southeast. He was traveling through Anambra State to Asaba Airport, and he was accosted. He and about 3 DSS officials were accosted by military personnel who, you know, dehumanized them, told them to lie on the floor. In fact, told them they were going to shoot at them, told them that they were IPOB. Do you think there has been accusations that most of the people killed in the Southeast in the guise of IPOB are really not IPOB, that they were killed by military? Do you think that this is exactly what's happening?
These guys are burning down villages, Nigerian army. They are burning down villages. Like, if you are 17 years old in the East, you carry any kind of hairstyle and you run into a military checkpoint, you're automatically targeted. It's profiling.
Oh, wow.
You understand? But go to Katsina. Listen to this before we end this broadcast. The governor in Katsina said a whole local government with tons of bandits have only 5 policemen in their area. They have only 1 vehicle, no military. But there are bandits all over the place. Why is it that banditry and terrorism in the north is treated with kid gloves, and people who are asking for what is recognized by the United Nations as self-governance, the request for self-governance, is treated as a crime against the state? But terrorism is not treated the same way in the East. I traveled in the northern part of Nigeria during the election in 2019 and also in 2023. You can drive all the way from some of the most, bandit havens.
Dangerous points.
Dangerous points. And there will be no policeman or army on the way.
Okay.
But you cannot travel in the East today. Is 1 kilometer, 1 military battalion.
Unfortunately, that is what it is. Before we leave, can I ask you a personal question?
Go ahead.
We have spoken a lot here, and you are more like a definition of speaking truth to power. Oh, Sowore, do you fear for your life?
It's too late. My life had been taken several times, to the point that all I'm dedicated to is living my life one day at a time. And the reason is this. When I was leaving the university, I did not know, I left the university at the age of 24, 25. I did not know that I would make it up to 30. So I used to say at that time that I was living on borrowed times. I'm 54 now. If I die today and an autopsy is performed on me, they will find the heart of a 90-year-old man inside my body because it's been a lot. My heart has carried a lot of pain and anguish. But I've carried on, and as a result, I cannot be afraid of my shadows when people who didn't even do half of what I've done have died of preventable diseases, some malaria. So people like me are lucky. And if you look at the life expectancy of a Nigerian man, I think it's now
50-something, 56.
54.
56.
So I've lived a few months above that. I'm going to be 55 in February. I've tried.
You're not going anywhere yet. Well, before you go, before you start going where you want to go to, let's look at 2027. There's been lots of, chess playing here and there against 2027. And then coalition of, some people are already saying that there is no way anybody can beat Ebola Ahmed Tinubu in any election, irrespective of his performance. No, if they don't come together. What do you think is the way forward for Nigeria?
You can beat Tinubu in an election, but you cannot beat him in his election. And that's what they are planning. They're not going to have another election.
Are you serious?
Yes. They're not
How
planning.
do you mean?
Well, let's start from here. Who conducts the election? INEC. Right? Go and find out how many federal electoral commissioners were appointed by Tinubu who are APC card-carrying members to replace the ones that are retired. Almost infinite. Did you know that Bola Tinubu appointed 11 Supreme Court justices since he came to power? These two bodies.
So there is no hope in Nigeria will continue like this?
Well, if you don't want to continue like this, make it very clear that we can't continue like this. And that has to happen now. But if you don't, you are going to continue worse than this in the next few months and years to come. Because they have already decided the next selection.
That's a tough call.
Yeah, but they may not. The only thing that I'm hopeful about is that they may not be as lucky as they did last time. Because I think people are tired too.
Do you think they really are tired?
Well, they're tired, but the question is, do they have the energy to push back? That's the question. But in terms of tiredness, you can see it's written all over the horizon. Nigerians are tired.
Why do you think they lack the energy to push back if they're really tired?
You see, Nigerians have, and I'm going to say something that will be controversial. Nigerians have a gene in their DNA called the happiness gene. It's called the happiness gene. And they are happy regardless of what they go through, what I call foolish happiness.
Well, naturally, but there's nothing wrong with being happy.
Yes, but how can you be happy when you should be sad? If you don't allow those emotions to run, side by side, then you cannot be upset enough to change your objective conditions. That's where we are. And it's a bad place to be. There are times to be happy, times to be sad, times to be angry. That's what humans are supposed to react to, depending on the circumstances they are faced with.